I'll explain it to him.
No!
That would be extortion.
Yeah.
You calling me a liar?
No.
Each week we break down another Better Call Saul episode in order. This week's episode title has a triple meaning. We'll get into it along with 40 details you might not know in Season 2, Episode 4, Gloves Off. It's the only 43-minute episode in the Breaking Bad universe, making it the 7th shortest. Mike's eye looks strange. Let's boost the exposure. Oh, but that's cheating. Let's wait for the big reveal. Sorry to the prop money haters, but I think it's funny that this is the focal point of the shot. That's about as clear as you'll ever see it. And then there's the duplicate serial numbers and the bizarro Ben Franklin. This Kroger packaging is too modern for 2002. Besides the style, you detectives have pointed out that the logo would have been different, and these front-of-package nutrition keys were introduced in 2011. The Green Giant logo is also a later version.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
They used some makeup and real bandages, but most of this is a face-off style visual effect, as Jonathan's skin couldn't handle the spirit gum that would have been used to apply a prosthetic. Vince said his eye was wide open when they shot this. It does look a little fake if you watch closely, and he gained some damage and bandages compared to when he walked in the door. You may recognize those boxing gloves, although Mike's not giving them back, so I guess Tuco buys another pair in the future.
How could that be? Where did it all go?
All this time we thought there was a Davis somewhere, but here's Dave, Vis, and Maine. Just kidding. This is Doug Linton, and this is someone known only as Cordova. She could be Cordova Davis, although it would be weird for one to be listed as first name only and one as last name only. So Davis remains a mystery.
If you were a loved one as a resident of a Sandpiper Crossing facility...
Jesus, you used your own voice?
Definitely a step down from Robert Clotworthy.
Mesothelioma.
Strictly to save money.
You think this is about money?
It was an experiment, and as such, a success.
You keep using the word experiment like you're the goddamn Wright brothers.
Ed Begley Jr. was a Wright brother on the pilot episode of Voyagers.
We've gotten nearly 200 phone calls since this one airing.
New Mexico reports. No, I'm not going to count them, in part because I can't always be sure they're just not books that look similar.
You hear that? That's the sound of victory.
We can see Cliff's off-camera window reflected, and outside of it is plain backstage area rather than the fake outdoors.
Don't act like you don't see the problem here.
He doesn't.
I don't.
You cut us out.
You and I did discuss the possibility of a commercial.
For a grand total of 30 seconds when I was halfway out the door.
Actually, Cliff, it was more like 50 seconds.
We are a team at Davis and Maine. If you simply can't fit in as part of the team...
I can fit in. I fit in. I am here to help you and HHM win Sandpiper.
Sandpiper's not what keeps the lights on around here.
We have clients who wouldn't want to be associated with this kind of this.
Our image, our reputation is worth far more than any one case.
I think that perfectly sums up the perspective Jimmy's missing.
The vote is currently 2-1 to fire you for cause.
I believe Cliff is the one vote in Jimmy's favor because...
I believe in second chances. But no, this is both strike one and strike two.
Charlie Hustle's about to strike out.
Going forward, you can expect a great deal more scrutiny.
I was confused why Kim would be number 3 on his speed dial, but this comment makes it all make sense. Number 2 might be reserved for Chuck out of habit, with number 1 reserved for voicemail, which means this was likely inaccurate.
I'm number 1 on your speed dial.
And the tones don't match the star 3 talk buttons he's pressing. The star 3 should be instead of...
You've reached the voicemail of Kim Wexler.
Hey, Kim.
Please call me before you talk to Howard.
It's a simple question, Kim. Did you or did you not know about this commercial?
He showed it to me.
He showed it to you. You didn't think I deserved a heads up.
I didn't realize...
This is really big of Kim to protect Jimmy.
At the time, I didn't think it was necessary.
He certainly did nothing to deserve that.
We were caught flat-footed in front of our co-counsel, which I don't need to tell you, does not reflect well on HHHHHM.
Wow, I guess they've added some more partners.
Or on you. You can go.
3 of the 4 switches are taped down with something written on it. Is this to prevent people from accidentally turning on the lights with Chuck around, or does HHM have its own versions of the switch? And strangely, the tape positions have changed since they appeared in Cobbler.
What are you going to do?
I figure from here, you've got a good beat on the place.
We know a certain family from Michoacan, so that's a clue about who's connected to this restaurant.
Tuco.
Originally, they were going to make this restaurant Taco Cabeza.
Half the deals I've ever done went down at Taco Cabeza. Nobody ever gets shot at Taco Cabeza.
They were in the middle of designing its logo when they found this real restaurant and thought it would be perfect instead. They didn't even change the restaurant's name. It no longer exists, but you can eat at the restaurant that replaced it.
Tuco stares like he's looking inside him. Calls it his lie detector. You see him packing up, drive over, pull up in the spot next to Tuco's. Pop. Pop, pop, pop. Headshot, roll out.
How exactly do I not get seen?
That's why you're perfect. You're no one, you got no connections.
Someone comes in behind me, I'm blocked.
Who's gonna pull in behind you?
Well, I'm guessing someone who likes tacos.
Get out and run.
Bad knees.
I got bad knees.
They could have called this show the Bad Knees Brothers.
Killing your partner, that's a bell you don't unring.
I know it was you.
You know I got this?
Now why would he, Nacho?
Tuco and I were working with these bikers out of Riverside County.
Riverside is where Breaking Bad was originally going to be located and filmed, but a huge tax break enticed Sony to move everything to Albuquerque.
They're running this peanut butter crank. Our connect was a guy called Dog Paulson.
That counts.
Peter do have whacked one Dog Paulson, back when our homegrown banditos were wrestling the crank trade away from the SoCal biker gangs.
He thinks Dog is supplying his competitor trying to cut Tuco out. Tuco doesn't even raise his voice, but suddenly he's got a sawed off and Pop, I was behind him. And this, a piece of Dog's skull.
He's got that dog in him.
Anyway, not the kind of thing you go to the doctors for. Tuco really liked Dog, but when he's using loco, crazy.
Michael Mando was the one like this as Voss in Far Cry 3.
I don't like the way you are looking at me. And he's using, again, Crystal. Much bigger kick.
Nacho is right to worry about that.
It's him or me.
It is him or us. You understand? It is him or us.
And they're both talking about Tuco. He should really reflect on the effect he has on people. They didn't handle the red border when digitally removing this sign.
There. Man with a scoped rifle could get a clean shot. No witnesses, clean egress.
You can make that shot?
Yeah.
We'll find out why in a moment.
You saying you do it?
50 grand.
50 grand.
I'll look into it.
That won't work. He needs to do the 5-knot.
Brother isn't here, Mr. McGill.
I know. He sent me to get his ink blotter.
Watch yourself. The floor's slick.
Thank you, Gesualdo.
Writer Gordon Smith named this character after Carlo Gesualdo, a 16th century Italian madrigal composer.
Oh, no.
Are you looking for Miss Wexler? She's still here.
Where? Kim, I am so sorry. I should have told you last night.
You think?
Howard can't just stick you in doc review because of something I did at an entirely different law firm. What the hell kind of sense does that make?
I told you this would happen.
He can't blame you for this.
I warned you he would.
I'm talking to Howard.
What, call him a pig fucker again?
I'm talking to him tonight.
Jimmy, no. You'd only make things worse.
I'll explain it to him.
No! If you go to Howard, you and I, we're done.
So we're not done now?
Could you please just go?
He can't confront Howard, but she didn't say anything about Chuck.
I'm coming in!
I think that part of the lantern is removable, so Chuck must have put it back on upside down. Jimmy hasn't been inside Chuck's house since they're falling out, but he's desperate to fix this.
Chuck, do you want me to get you to the hospital?
No. It's almost 3 a.m. And for those wondering about Chuck wearing a watch, it's mechanical, so like the metronome and alarm clock, he's still safe from electricity. It appears to be a Raymond Weil watch.
Extra protection here.
Single shot, bolt, very effective against soft targets.
Lawson's back in a very familiar situation.
Tried and true, no nonsense about it.
They built this hotel room set to resemble the Breaking Bad set, using only photos and episode screen grabs of the original because they no longer had the construction drawings. It's not meant to be the same room, but the same hotel. Other than the curtains and the mirror frame, it's a great match. They both even have unpainted wall repairs.
What's this? As always, I've gone to the trouble of grinding down the serial number.
The main difference is the experience and knowledge of his prospective buyer.
I don't want to be caught with this on me.
Acid will recover it.
I follow up with a pass through a random stipple machine press. That's the Armalite AR-50.
Lawson does mix up the guns here, but it's okay. I've done it too.
Looks like a hernia with a scope on it.
SR-25 match rifle. Eugene Stoner designed semi-auto.
I've heard they're prone to jam.
Early M16s, also designed by Stoner, developed a reputation for jamming from Vietnam.
The M40, essentially the same rifle used by Marine snipers since 1966. You seem to know this one.
Oh, yeah. You could say that.
No offense to Gordon the writer, but I thought this comment was pretty funny.
We can't bolt through the zinger. Sorry.
What do you think?
It's fiberglass instead of wood. It changed it over in 1970 or so.
Good. Somebody probably should have figured that out before they sent it into a damn jungle.
Yeah, probably.
This is meant to reveal that Mike was a Vietnam vet. Vince and Jonathan think he was a Marine sniper.
I've changed my mind. I don't need anything at this time. For your trouble?
Oh, it's no trouble. I make my living on repeat business. When you need what I'm offering, you know how to find me.
Like cars, this is an area I know little about, and as Vince says,
there's nobody more passionate than gun nerds, so I'm sure they'll be, that's not strictly true, that blah blah blah.
But this channel's all about that, so I know you'll let me know if I made mistakes or missed something.
You're still here.
How you feeling?
I could use some tea.
Thanks.
You scared me last night.
Sometimes I overdo it, and that's all.
Was it Jimmy's antics that did this to Chuck, or is it really just normal in-office fatigue?
Going into the office really takes it out of you, doesn't it? There's so many important things for you to do there. Like, stick it to Kim Wexler.
What did I do to Kim Wexler?
She's back in the cornfield, isn't she?
I already counted Jimmy's Twilight Zone reference in a previous episode, so he actually has no colorful references in this episode. You can tell he's feeling terrible.
Management of personnel, those decisions are all Howard's.
Right, and he didn't influence that at all.
What are you going to do?
That is rich. When Howard was making his management decisions, was he sitting on your knee with your arm up his ass?
We were caught flat-footed in front of our co-counsel, which does not reflect well on HHM or on you. Kim, doc review. Doc review, Kim, because I don't care.
If Howard were my puppet, he certainly wouldn't have recommended you to Davis and Maine.
Here's one meaning of gloves off. Chuck isn't pulling any punches here.
Don't punish Kim.
Kim had a responsibility to Hamlin, McGill.
She didn't know I was going to air the commercial. She didn't know I hadn't gotten it approved.
She didn't say anything to us about that.
She wouldn't want to make me look bad.
This shows a lack of judgment on her part. She knows you. She should have known better.
You are such an asshole.
For pointing out that her one mistake was believing in you.
Can I remind you, it worked? It worked like a dream.
That's your problem, Jimmy. Thinking the ends justify the means. How he hasn't fired you for this positively mystifies me. You're like an alcoholic. Someone's given you the keys to the school bus, and I'm not going to let you drive it off a cliff.
Can we just get down to brass tacks here?
I failed to show all the people asking for the counter who did know that it's TACKS, so here you go.
What can I do to put Kim back where she belongs, huh?
Life is not one big game of let's make a deal.
Yes, it is. I'm Monty Hall. What's behind door number 2? What'll it take?
These personas are tricky to count. Here's one I missed from early on, so I'll count it now.
You must have the stickers or you won't pass. You want me to quit being a lawyer? Yeah, a chip with a machine gun. That's me, right?
This isn't a real counter. I don't want the counter to hear me. But I'll point out that this is the second and final time this phrase is used. Nope, nobody counted anything.
That's why you put the screws to Kim in the first place, to squeeze me.
It's all about me. That would be extortion.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell anyone. You just set things right for Kim. And I quit the law for good. No more Jimmy McGill, Esquire. Poof, like he never even existed. Wow. Come on, Chuck, extort me.
You want me to commit a felony?
All your dreams will come true.
I am not the bad guy here. I can't be the bad guy. You clearly don't need any help from me to tank your career. You're doing just fine on your own. Speaking of which, you're going to be at least 20 minutes late for work. Another feather in your cap with Clifford, Maine.
So,
I'm not gonna do it.
what are you negotiating now?
No amount of money makes this a good idea.
He knows it won't work because he appears in Breaking Bad. His boxing gloves necklace that was taken from him in Better Call Saul is somehow back.
A dead Tuco draws Salamancas like flies.
He's right about that.
But you said it yourself. You don't need him dead. You need him to go away. You won't have to do any time. There's no killing but your Tuco problem. It goes away.
This shot has been reversed, and you can tell because the spinners are spinning counterclockwise, but in the next shot they're spinning clockwise. Vince said they did this because the spinners were coming to a stop. Tuco's car is a 1970 Pontiac Le Mans Sport with GTO the Judge stripes. That's fitting because his gun is also named the Judge. And in case you missed this clue, we know who's about to appear.
Our furniture is bueno. Tampico is the name.
Domingo Molina, potential son of Carmen Molina, before he gets his Crazy 8 nickname.
It's all there. Shh, let the man count. Good.
There's emotion visible, and at this point I recognize some of those serial numbers.
So next time, huh?
I wonder if the writers got this idea from Larry David, who used this technique in Curb Your Enthusiasm for decades. He even used it on this guy.
Okay. I'll see you next week, Tuco.
They originally auditioned the restaurant owner to be Nacho's dad. He hadn't acted before and was an upholsterer in real life. For some reason, they thought it could be a good idea to have an authentic upholsterer play an upholsterer. Maybe we missed out on a trademark long dialogue-free upholstering scene since this casting didn't happen.
I would like to report a fight going on at the El Machicana restaurant. There is a man threatening another man with a gun. I'm a passerby. I don't want to get involved.
It's impressive that Mike managed to time this call so well.
Fuck! Little man just hit my car.
Mike's got one of the more rare hot air balloon license plates like Jesse had. In real life, this scene was filmed over 2 to 3 days, so there are inconsistencies with the sun. For example, here the restaurant is shading the 2 parking spots, but here it's not the case. This is definitely the Too Modern Visa logo.
Hey, give me the number for the pollo, por favor.
Hey, Gramps.
Here's the only time we've seen these two together.
You just hit my car.
You're talking to me.
We got Mr. Magoo here.
Mr. Magoo is notorious for his extreme nearsightedness, and this is a callback to Breaking Bad.
Oh, Mr. Magoo.
Yes, sir.
Even while using, his relative patience with Mike could be due to his respect for the elderly. He loves old people.
No, I don't think I did. You calling me a liar?
No.
I saw it too.
If I did, I apologize.
6:33.
You keep the change. Excuse me.
Don't you walk away from me. You see that?
Oh, come on. That'll buff right out.
You're gonna make this all right.
Fine. I have very good coverage. I'll take care of this.
Cash.
I have maybe 20, 30 bucks on me. That's all.
Okay, now you're lying to me.
Take out the wallet.
There's more son and character position continuity issues in back-to-back frames.
Oh, come on, guys.
Give me your wallet, and maybe you walk away from this.
I'm not giving you a damn thing.
There's the judge again, and it's still an anachronism from 4 years in the future.
Wallet.
Time to bounce.
Yeah, go.
That's how Mike will get his keys back.
One lucky old man. What the hell? Let go!
Tuco shows impressive reflexes from one frame to the next.
Let go!
And he doesn't move his mouth here.
Go! Go! Go!
There's a stuntman. Ray and Jonathan fought in slow motion, and then they sped it up in sometimes strategically removed frames. Mike takes punches way better than No does, although maybe Tuco will get a lot stronger in prison.
Let go!
This was inspired by a scene from Raging Bull in which Jake LaMotta takes Sugar Ray Robinson's punches as a sort of penance. So Mike is willing to put himself through this because he feels he deserves it for his past sins.
Let go!
This is apparently bad punching form because your thumb should be out and your wrist should be straighter. The flying blood was added digitally. To get this shot, they put a piece of glass in front of the camera. It took 5 minutes for them to arrive, which actually feels pretty reasonable and faster than I would have guessed just by watching the scene. That T-13 car is awfully busy. This fight is the second interpretation of Gloves Off, with the third being that Mike will literally rip the gloves off Tuco.
That's all you got.
But strangely, we never get to see that. Goodbye, Tuco. We know that he'll spend time in prison where he'll share a cell with Skinny Pete, and years of prison workouts rather than drugs will make him appear more youthful than ever.
Wow, look at you.
That is once again mostly a digital effect.
25.
Half the original amount to kill him.
Definitely earned it. You could have gotten twice as much for 1/10 the hassle. You would have done the world a favor.
You know, Mike, I'd say this way of dealing with Tuco is a
half measure.
I thought you vowed never to do that again after the
big boy
incident. I hope there are no consequences from this.
You went a long way to not pull that trigger. Why?
Mike figures Nacho won't get it, even if he tries to explain. It just happened to be windy, so that's real wind and natural dust. They liked the effect so much, like everything just got wiped away, that they held onto this shot longer than planned. But wouldn't Mike have pulled forward by now? Congratulations and thanks to the new 1-year members! Timmy Jackson, Deathwish 682, and Chintuples. And to the new 6-month members! The Veg 1138, Rick, the Shaman, Sandwolfie, the Midgard Chronicler, Fettuccine Alfredo, Tim Martin, Evan Highland, Florian, ya boy A-Dub, Hummus, Shazden, Ruqueer, Gino Smith, Cheerio Lord, Kakpatu, El Hasso, Absinthalis, Shabak, Surplus Disco, Please Don't Read This, and Old Plainface. Now say hi to the new members: Computer Guy, Nico Nava, Gilbert Von Hinglish Blog, Medical Legal Connection, Pope Serial the 16th, Darius Mays, Pizza No Hair, Lucky Monocles, Serial, Fizzletree, Haltarna, Connor Else, Jacob Jupiter, Skype Tickle, Rasmus Reuter, Joshy Piss, Zura, Grandma Quill, Mike Scalera, Bastard in a Basket, William Carmichael, Azumi Daniels, The Swag Cat, Steve Hines, Disco Dog, Pac-Man Frog, Commukake, Derpy Landfishy, Javier Uriarte, Tucker, Exolasur, Hypercore Energy, Oraculus, Venom, Andre Carol Contreras Jimenez, Charlie Wolcott, Clay Devil, Bruni Martin Schkibbolds, King Redhead, Tue Meng, Gitrog, Jazder SSJ, Jayorki, Matthew, Fuyuki Cryon, Cap Dimitri, Camouflage June, AI the Somnium Files Enjoyer, Aviu, Kazuki Soma, Starchy, RSO1, Covers Haiku, Rhino 22, Cow, Bum, It's Owen, Asha, Fearful Tears, KC, Christian the Fool, Kixu, Metro Monkey 661, Stormtrooper Commander, and Arthanol. Next week, some very special Breaking Bad characters reappear.
If you want, Mike, you and I, we could scratch this whole thing. We've got about 50 grand saved up. We can go to Mexico.
Oh, that's clever. I believe in second chances, but no, this is both strike one and strike two. And fuck you, by the way.